Welcome back to the Empty the Quiver podcast, your front row seats for all things Utah Archers. From game recaps to standout performances, we'll be your front row seats to all things orange and blue. Let's let it fly.
As you can see, we have a special guest, fresh off of a win in Utah at homecoming, goalie Nick Washuta. Thank you so much, Nick, for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. Excited to be here.
And the man's repping his Utah Archers gear. He's coming straight from his high school lacrosse banquet. He's in his car. We really appreciate you spending some time with us. We were given our first opportunity to have media passes in Utah. We applied for those through the league, and they granted them. And so we were in the press conference after the game against California. Came out, and everybody had pretty much dispersed by that point. But we saw you there with some of your family members. Your father was with you. Obviously not the result we wanted in game one, so not the happiest of moments, but we just said hello, and your dad, first thing he said to both of us was, yeah, I always ask Nick after a game how many he wants back, how many goals went in that he thought he should have saved. And the number was 2 or 3, to which I said, honestly, if you saved all 3 of those, we still lose by a goal, so it's clearly not your fault, but we'll get them tomorrow. And we came back 24 hours later, and you put up a crazy performance against one of the best teams in the league, a team that was in the championship last year with an incredible offense, the Denver Outlaws. Won that game 10-7. Your save percentage for the weekend was over 60%. How do you go from what was a disappointing game one to less than 24 hours doing what you did and shutting down one of those great offenses?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, I have a different kind of role on the Archers, right? I'm typically a backup goalie. For Dauber, obviously. I was finishing up the NLL playoffs, but kind of what I'm getting at there is that I think my only real, game experience in this league really is from championship series. So a lot of quick turnarounds, back-to-back games, coming off of a loss, trying to turn around, do things differently against a new team, new face, new bodies. So I think this weekend was kind of just the perfect setup for me. I felt very confident in the cage going into the weekend. My team did a great job preparing and whatnot. They were giving me tons of shots, tons of great looks. And then obviously on game day, both games, right, are the defense in front of me was doing an incredible job. They were giving me the shots I want to see that I can save, and I was able to steal a couple more of them. And honestly, just had a ton of fun with it. Just try to stay positive throughout the weekend. Obviously Friday night did not go our way. I like the way that you put it, right, that even if I get those 2 or 3 back, the shots that I normally feel like I could save, it wouldn't have made the difference. So, again, it was just, focusing on a good night's sleep, recovering as much as I possibly could, getting the good meals in me, and turning around and being ready for that Saturday night game against a big opponent. So it was definitely nerve-wracking going into it. I haven't really played against Bernhard or O'Neill yet, with those guys never being in the champ series. So, a lot of new faces for me, and, going against a full 2 Orton offense is crazy thing, but it was a lot of could contribute. It had a great weekend. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw the social videos, this week of you getting the game ball. I mean, how special is that to you?
It was awesome. It was a great experience. I couldn't be happier. I had a huge smile on my face. Coach Bates said a lot of great things about me. Had to give a little speech after that. I'm glad they cut that out of all the socials. But not much of a speech guy. But I'm really appreciative of my teammates and the coaching staff. Every single one of them, came up and congratulated me and said I played a great game. So just really boosted my confidence, and I'm feeling more excited than ever for this season.
Yeah, a couple new faces, taking some bigger roles. Obviously, Lavelle took the majority of the O'Neill reps in that game, but also Mitchell Dunham, a guy that we haven't seen a ton. Talk about some of those guys and how they've kind of stepped their games up.
Oh, absolutely. Mitch was amazing this week. I don't remember the stat line. I think it was 7 or 8 caused turnovers. Is incredible. I think it's funny. My college roommate actually just moved in the apartment right above me. So from Vermont, moved from Pittsburgh out to here, but he was watching all the games, and he was like, dude, that Mitch kid is incredible. He's like, you didn't even notice it, but then it's you go look back at the stat line, and it was oh my God, he was incredible this weekend. So it was really cool to see. It's just awesome to watch him step into that role right when we needed him, with Moose, a couple other guys out. It was awesome. So for him to come into the league and play with that type of confidence just after being with a training camp, last year, it was awesome to see. And then obviously Lavelle, he's a known guy for us. He's done super well last year, and is off to a great start this season. It's a lot of fun playing behind him. I have all the confidence in the world in him and Woody as well, and our whole entire defense. Right, it's incredible playing behind those guys. It's a ton of fun. Our rope unit, short stick team heads are amazing as well. Colin Sharkey, Vermont guy, originally obviously went through his 5th year at Maryland, but with us now in the Archers too. So we got a good little Vermont Archers pipeline going. But it's cool to get back on the field with him, and playing behind that defense is a really incredible feeling.
I can't believe, like you just said, you saw what Dunham was doing, but you didn't
Mhm.
realize in 2 games he had 8 caused turnovers and 8 ground balls. And I look
Yeah,
at the stat line and it's like, oh my goodness, out of
it's
nowhere.
insane.
For
Yeah.
a debut, it was crazy.
hmm Agreed. And he just like flew under the radar with it. It's like it wasn't like the big plays where it's like, I mean, I guess he did yard sale, Malloy, I think, and whatever, but I think that was him. Anyway, so like, but like again, it just kind of flew under the radar where it was like he was just making these plays all weekend long, and it's like you didn't even notice it because he was just doing such a solid job the whole entire weekend. So it was pretty impressive to see and be a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were saying Malloy and Bernhardt, like it wasn't no name guys. He was causing turnovers
hmm
against some big names out there. It was pretty awesome to
For
watch.
sure.
Yeah. And so obviously with some of our guys getting eliminated from the NLL, you're going to be transitioning more of the sideline role. I want to
Yep.
talk about the iPad. I mean, it's a huge part of the game, and
hmm
you're one of the best in the league at it. It doesn't take you, chewing 6 pieces of gum to be any good at it. I mean, you're just a natural.
Thank
Talk
you.
us through, what what kind of angles you can see, how I think it's what 30 seconds that you get to kind of say, hey, coach, throw the flag.
Yeah.
Talk us through kind of what happens on the sidelines when we're gonna, try and challenge a call.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's one of my favorite roles I get to play. I love getting lots of touches on the guys, and staying positive on the sidelines, cheering for them and whatnot. But having that role with the iPad, helps me feel like I contribute on the field on game day. I've gotten us a couple calls back over the years, so I'm really, really happy about that. But yeah, for me, it's like my background. I'm a mechanical engineer and work for a medical device company for my day job. Outside of lacrosse, like to think I'm a relatively smart person and good with technology and stuff. So anyway, when I'm going through the sideline clips and whatnot, I'm just trying to flip through the different camera angles, get all the different views on our goals against, right? If it's a crease, something else like that happening, or goal interference with Dauber, or vice versa. If we're on the offensive side of the ball, making sure we're not in the crease, or whatever else we can challenge, run out, stuff like that. I just try to get through all the angles we have on the sideline and go from there. But it's a stressful job sometimes. I got Coach Bates like whipping his head around, like screaming, like, "What do I need to challenge it?" and like and whatnot. So I just got to stay, calm and patient and work through that. But yeah, it's fun. Again, it's one of the ways I'm able to feel like I can contribute. On game day, I'm definitely helpful in preparation. I take tons of shots, leading up to games for the guys, try to give them goalie scouts and stuff like that. But the iPad, I take a lot of pride in, and really have been happy with some of the calls I've gotten back over the years.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
even the this past weekend, Bates is clearly comfortable yelling your name out because that ball that
Yeah.
hit Woodward in the unfortunate area and almost rolled over
hmm
the goal line that was called a goal. He's yelling to
Yep.
you, "Should I challenge?" Because you
Yeah.
see the guys like trying to see with the sun shining in the iPad screen. It's got to be
hmm
hard to see.
For sure. Yeah. The glare doesn't help. With that one too, it's interesting. They don't give us the goal line view on the iPad. So we don't have that in camera view, or in cage camera view rather. So some of it can be a little bit of a guessing game. For me, the way I like clamped down on that ball, I couldn't really tell if it made it over or not. Lavelle was standing right next to me, I guess, and also saw it happen and was like, dude, it didn't cross. So I was like, okay, let's challenge it. I thought I saved it. I was pretty certain, but I just, again, with the way my stick was going down on the ball as it was like crossing, I couldn't quite tell, but I thought it was worth the challenge and we got it back. And it was a pretty huge moment, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
The unfortunate part is I think the shot was going wide though, so I don't think Woody even needed to get hit in the balls. But
It absolutely was.
but yeah, anyway.
That's a badge of honor.
Yep, for sure.
So talking about the iPad and kind of things on the sideline, like
Hmm.
take us even further back and talk to us about what a week of prep looks like for y'all. I mean, it sounds like y'all kind of get together as a team and watch film once a week, but really
Hmm.
for you, obviously you're still coaching and kind of doing some stuff on the side.
Yep.
What does it really look like for you? From Monday to game time.
Absolutely. I'm with a personal trainer 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Obviously, if I'm traveling, Fridays or Thursdays, that I skip out on those days. But so the personal trainer 3 days a week, his name's Bo Francie out of San Diego Lacrosse Academy. Huge shout out to him. He's helped me progress insane, my athleticism, everything like that. I run 5 to 6 days a week, about 30 miles a week usually, and then take shots 2 days a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, with Trey, Danny Logan, a couple other local guys, usually Peyton Rosanka. He just unfortunately tore his ACL though. And then a couple other like local ex D1 guys. So just try to stay active as much as possible and see as many shots as possible. And then, like you guys mentioned, right, we have a weekly Zoom with the archers. We always start out with like team clips, go through, make it what it takes plays, and then kind of split up into OD split. OD on the defensive side, we go through goals against, other stuff we need to work on, and kind of talk through each play. Whether it was a good offense or if it's a defensive breakdown, what we need to do differently next time. And then outside of that, obviously we get out to the games a day or two early, practice as a team once or twice, and then sometimes the morning of if it's a night game as well. So yeah, that's kind of what a typical week looks like for me. And then on top of that, I also have a day job still. Like I said, I'm a mechanical engineer for a medical device company out here. And then I run crease coach as well in Southern California and do a bunch of goalie coaching most Sundays and Tuesdays in San Diego. So it's kind of what a typical week looks like for me. Again, just trying to stay as active as possible and see as many shots as possible during the week. So I'm ready to go on the weekend.
Speaking of shots taken too, I know Ryan Ambler has been, super vocal about you being the one that if anybody wants to stay and take extra shots after practice, like you're like, I'll hop in cage,
Mm-hmm.
what does that kind of, mean for you and the rest of the team?
That's another thing I really, pride myself in, right? I'm going to be the last guy on the field in practice every single time, right? I'm not going to tire out. I'm going to sit there and take as many shots as I possibly humanly can, and until my bones break, I guess, which happened last year. But yeah, again, it's something I really pride myself on, right? I want to be there for the team. Again, I don't contribute much on game day, on a typical game day, right? So I want to do whatever I possibly can for this team, and if that's sitting there taking shots for an hour after practice with Tom or Ryan or Mac or Fieldsy and getting hit 10 times in the shin and not complaining, just getting ready for another one. It's what I'm going to do for this team, right? I just want to win. I want our team to be successful. So I really pride myself on that and helping the guys get ready for each game day. I try to give them goalie scouts too. If they're doing in tight stuff, I'll try to change hands and play like the other goalie, higher arc if it's like Wardo, and just try to mimic whatever goalie we're playing against each week.
Yeah, speaking of Fields, he was singing your praises. After the Denver win, we all kind of got together and have some celebratory food and drink. And
Mhm.
I had mentioned that there's this how crazy it is to even want to play goalie. And he said, Tubbs will jump in net and let us fire shots from 5 yards away as hard as we can. He will get in there and nothing's off limits.
Mhm.
With that, though, more of a fun question. If you had to pick a player, college, pro, indoor, outdoor, who practice or game, whose shot is the fastest, and also whose shot's the hardest to save on the Archers?
Okay, I got a couple answers for you. Hardest, first off, is Graham Hasek. I mean, he literally won the fastest shot competition, whatever. But like,
Good point.
watching his ball move through the air is like the craziest thing ever. CK, new guy this year, he shoots the piss out of the ball. His release is like sneaky hard off of not that hard of or big of a release, if that makes sense. It's not like a heavy shot. He's able to get a lot of speed off of a little release. And then, college got to be Ian McKay. He was hurt my sophomore year and basically just shot at me every single day of practice. It was one of my best seasons. So, but he's an incredible shooter. Also shoots the piss out of the ball. And then hardest shot to save is just gotta be Tom. It's pretty epic, getting to share the field with a living legend. And I'm kind of bummed that he broke my thumb last year because he's kind of refused to shoot on me again, which makes me pretty sad. I mean, he'll still show me in practice, in reps and stuff, but at the end of practice, if I hop in cage, he goes the other side of the field, and it kind of makes me sad. But yeah, Tom's shot, it's just so deceptive. It's such a quick release. He does so much with it. It's honestly just, it's an honor to be on the field with him. No other words to describe it.
Definitely want to back it up again. What does it mean for you to play in front of Utah? I mean, obviously, JB and I are both East Coast guys, but we've been out there every year that we've been the Utah Archers, and especially JB living kind of where he does in PA, he gets to go to a bunch of different games every year. I try and make it to Charlotte and a couple
Mm-hmm.
others every once in a while, but I mean, what's the crowd difference like in Utah versus everywhere else?
I mean, I think we've all said it at one time or another, but the crowd, our fans, and everything in Utah are honestly the best in the league. I mean, we're probably just biased saying that, but when we go to these other stadiums and play in front of these other home crowds, they're not as bought in as they are in Utah. It's honestly it's such an insane feeling, and it's so cool to just feel like the fans are so invested in us and so behind us. We absolutely love it. It's such a great atmosphere to play in Utah in front of the fans. We really, really cannot thank them enough. And again, comparing them to the other places, it's no comparison, literally no comparison.
Can we get a story from Vermont? I know you said Warren Jeffrey. He was a year older than you, right? And Coach Cav coached you
Mm-hmm.
at Vermont.
Yeah.
Anything good from the college days?
Yeah, let me think. So yeah, we got Coach Cav, we got Ryan Sharkey now. We had Ian McKay for a little bit, at least on the Archers. We have Michelle, our athletic trainer, and then obviously Moose as well. I don't know if I have a good story with all of us combined. Tons of good memories with Cav. Just being the goalie coach there and taking us out to goalie dinners. But my probably all-time favorite thing at Vermont is looking at Warren Jeffrey's sophomore year roster picture. Might be freshman, might be sophomore. One of his earlier years. He's missing his two front teeth. So he got sucker punched in a bar, didn't fight the guy back, and eventually got his teeth replaced by that guy, essentially. But it's just an incredible picture, his roster picture, jersey on, everything. Two front teeth missing. Just this giant goon Canadian defender you don't want to meet on the field. So it's something I love. You guys got to go check that out after this.
I will
Just
absolutely look that up.
yeah,
That's
go
awesome.
to the
100%.
historical roster and drop it back to his sophomore. Maybe it's freshman, sophomore, or junior year. It's definitely not senior year. I think he got his teeth fixed at that point. One of them he wasn't smiling, but yeah, it's awesome.
So what does it look like for y'all on the road? I mean, do you kind of stay with Dauber on the road, kind of as the goalies, or does it kind of change from week to week, or what does that look like for you?
It changes week to week usually. They actually don't really ever room Dauber and I together. I don't think I ever have a single time. I'm not sure why, but Dauber and I are great friends, and I his number one fan and biggest supporter. But he insists are typically always roomed together. So I don't think I've ever been with Dauber one time actually. But again, we're together all weekend long, and I'm like I said, his biggest fan, biggest supporter on the sideline. So. Yeah, for me, usually is Moose, and then also Fieldsy, a whole bunch. Trying to think who else. I've floated around a little bit. Sometimes I put with new guys. I'm a nice guy, I guess. And so, yeah.
And then what's your best memory playing for the Archers? I mean, is it the original title? Is it the defense? Is it another moment from these past couple seasons? What's the the best feeling you've had on the
Yeah.
lacrosse field wearing the orange and blue?
It's hard to pick a certain moment. I think one of the cool ones for me again is just like sharing the field with some of these like living legends. But it's hard to not pick our two championships. Like it's a pretty epic experience, and something I'll never forget. And it's just like it was so cool holding the trophy, getting our rings, doing champagne showers, all that stuff. It just was like nothing like it, honestly. So it's hard to say another moment other than those two championship wins. But again, I think, like little kid me looking up and just saying like, oh my God, I'm like literally watching like Tom Schreiber or, any of these guys that I'm now sharing the field with is also a pretty epic experience. So
Yeah,
Not a
absolutely.
bad segue. We posted on social media and let fans submit questions to ask you,
hmm
and we picked the best
yeah.
one. One of the guys that was out in Utah, his name is Gene. He sent a question asking best advice you could give to a young goalie who
hmm
potentially was there, like you just mentioned, watching you play,
Yeah.
and now they want to be Nick Washuta when they grow up. What would you say to the kids?
That's awesome. My biggest piece of advice to young goalies, first and foremost, is to have fun with the sport, right? The second you stop having fun with it, that's when um, it's not going to go well for you. So first and foremost, have fun with it. And then second, for those young goalies, right? The secret is there is no secret. That's what Jake Bernhardt, my Vermont coach, always used to say. Basically just get reps, work hard, outwork your competition, and do stuff when no one's looking, no one else is working, right? We kind of in Vermont like pride ourselves on, playing in the cold, waking up early, whatever it was, doing stuff that people weren't willing to do. And that's kind of been, something I've taken and applied to my own training now, and just really focus on, getting reps. But again, first and foremost, you got to have fun with the sport. I still have fun with it to the day, after 23 years playing, and really, really thankful for everything along the way. But again, have fun with it, and get as many reps as you possibly can.
Well, and last question, a little bit more of a fun one.
hmm
Off the field, we hear you're a pretty decent golfer. Talk to us about your golf game. I know you're helping out with the Torrey Pines high school team over
Yeah,
there, and it sounds like you may have a little extra access over there. Talk to us about your golf game a little bit.
absolutely. Yeah, San Diego, ton of great golf courses out here. I play on a men's league team out here called the San Diego Lacrosse Club, and we have a second group me that's just filled with all golfers. So tee times get put in there all the time at all different courses. So play whenever I possibly can outside of my busy schedule and travel and all that. I'm just under a 10 handicap right now. Getting better. I've only been playing about a year and a half, but I absolutely love the sport. I'm like so addicted to it. And then, yeah, being in San Diego, living like in the city rather, you can get the resident card and play Torrey Pines for under $100, which is pretty crazy for out of state people. It's going to be like a $300 round, so it's pretty cool. It's a municipal course and it's on the tour and everything, so it's awesome. It's a ton of fun, and absolutely love golf. It's a great sport. It's very technical. I think that's what kind of speaks to me. And it's a lot of fun. I'm actually going to go play first light tomorrow morning before work and get up to work, hopefully before 9.
Now,
Yeah.
the biggest thing for me, I'm also a golfer. I've got the bug horrible.
Mhm.
Um, but the biggest thing for me is kind of flushing, a bad shot. I mean, does that kind of speak to you as a goalie? Hey, I let one in, and that may be one that I talked to my dad about at the end of the day. Like, I want that one back. I mean, do you kind of transfer that thought process from the golf course to the field?
For sure. Yeah. You can learn a lot from golf. You can apply it to a lot of things in your life. And there's some things that apply directly to the lacrosse field. Our mental health performance coach at Torrey Pines, he's an avid golfer as well, and talks all about that. And we vibe on the golf all the time, so it's fun you ask about that. But yeah, I'm always focused on that next shot. It's the same exact mentality I have in the cage. No matter what happened on the previous one, right? You just got to focus on that next shot, and do everything you can to do your best with it. And yeah, it's cool how much can apply from the golf course into your life.
Well, JB, you want to talk about a little cardboard here?
Yeah, so Jackson and I are card collecting nerds, and so at the end of
Mhm.
every episode, we show off a card from our set. Um,
Ooh,
we don't tell each other what they're going to be ahead of time, but
okay.
just a little surprise and a way for us to kind of put that into the podcast. I'll let you go
Cool.
first, Jackson. See what you got today.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you brought this guy up because this is a Trey Leclerc. It's affectionately known as the best buddy cards. This is numbered out of two, and so Trey has
Ooh,
the other copy of this, which is
no
really
way.
really neat. But super excited to get him back in a couple weeks. I'm glad you said he's a one that you practice with, and
Hmm.
a tough shot to stop because I think we
Oh yeah.
probably need a little bit of that coming up here soon.
Yep.
Yeah, I went off the reservation a little bit here because we are an Archers podcast, but you
Mhm.
do have to tip your cap when the cap needs to be tipped. And you also, good segue, mentioned playing on the field with all these legends. One of the players on the Philadelphia Water Dogs just passed Casey Powell, Kieran
Mm.
McCardle.
Yep.
He passed the 523 point mark, and this is his rainbow from 2024. It's the gold one of one all the way down through to the base card.
No
Um,
way.
Tip of the cap to you, Kieran McCardle. Impressive. Marcus Holman's right on your tail though. He's only 3 points behind. I had no idea, so he might jump back down into sixth if Holman gets hot.
Thanks.
But that's an incredible accomplishment. I was glad we were able to watch it in person.
Well, and with you seeing, some time at the beginning of the year, I think you're probably in line to see a card, in this upcoming set. So we'll be on the lookout for you, and we'll get you some.
I really hope
I
so.
don't know, that would be that would be a dream of mine, to see myself on a card. So we
For
like
sure.
to kind of help some of these guys out. Dauber's a huge collector, so
Hmm.
would love to send you some from this upcoming set. So we'll make that happen.
Thank you. Yeah. Again, I mean, you said it best. It's a huge dream of mine. I've played here and there the last couple of years, so I've been bummed that I haven't made it, but hopefully this year we'll see. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, no,
When you see
no
Jackson and I
worries.
standing over there with the 12-year-olds holding a pen, you got to come over and sign for us.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah. Well, Nick, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's been a crazy evening, so we really really appreciate you making time for us. We like to take everybody out on kind of how we started. So JB, take us out for us.
Utah fans, don't forget, let it fly.
Let's go, boys. Let's go get a dub against Maryland.
Oh yeah. Thanks, guys.